felt that not only were lots of critical pieces of advice not there in the Washington Consensus of 1989, but some of our contemporary problems are rooted in the fact of the inadequacy and poor statement of that consensus. So we wanted to get together 13 people and fairly diverse people and bring together a set of advice which is in some ways much more balanced, much more based on contemporary research, and that's what we were doing.
Now that we know the importance of multidimensionality, now that we know that phenomena are interconnected and we need econometric techniques to look at that, now that we know that people's preferences are not fixed and consistent, now that we have neuroeconomics. So all of this new innovations and understandings from the economics framework has not yet been put together in a paradigm that has the human being at its center, but is really practical.
One of the principles is that there has to be dialogue. There has to be active participation of society in the development project.
What we try and do is, in thinking about GDP not being an end in itself, in thinking about economic development and growth being inclusive, the importance of the environment, the relevance of norms and behaviors in economic development all come to the fore in this broad framework.
The Stockholm Statement is not a blueprint for policy. The Stockholm Statement is a set of principles can help frame country-level policies in developing and in developed countries.
There was a lot of movements together of these newly independent countries, the leaders talking to one another. That somehow has been lost and it's been left to rich countries to do the policy coordination. So one of the things hopefully is that individual countries will take away lessons, but there's also for them to act together, and there's a lot which is a collective interest that they will be able to formulate among themselves and do a little bit of dictating back to rich countries, which has usually been a one-way flow.
Our hope is that these principles, you might say, is a beginning of a dialogue, a beginning of a discussion. And as people look at these principles, they'll say, here are things that we forgot about. Here are things that are really important. Here are things they forgot about that ought to be included.
I think these are spaces of creativity. Principles hopefully can create this mobilization of consensus that these are the values that we stand for and that we want to find new ways to address in our different situations, but that can be done in a very practical way.